try not to run too wide through the exit. You can see that Jarrad's left a good bit of room to the exit. The reason why he's done that is to open up this long downhill left, which is actually flat out in some cars, but certainly not this one. Again, when you need to lift through a corner, it's best to do your lift before the apex or into the apex so that you're not lifting after the apex and destroying your exit speed. Although that's not as much an issue here because you've got a corner that immediately follows this. But try and make a little bit of contact with the curb on the inside just to reduce that understeer. Be committed at the bottom. You'll get lots of grip in the compression here. Allow the car to run wide as long as you're on the AstroTurf and getting an off-track penalty. But here where you've got this sort of section of grasscrete, there's a lot of grip here. So take full advantage of that. At least in iRacing there's lots of grip there. In terms of braking references, you've got these sort of markings in the grasscrete. So you've got one here, another one there. Jarrad's going to be braking quite early, so he's going to be braking just after the end of this curb. So there we go. Hard braking initially. Wow, he really is very wide. He's trying to open up this as much as possible. That's very close to being an off-track. And then, of course, he's bleeding off as he turns in. The car goes very light at the apex. So make sure you have slowed the car down enough at the apex. Because, again, you want to be able to be committed on the throttle, which often means slowing the car down a little bit more than you would think at the apex, and then you can be sort of more aggressive on the throttle. As soon as you do open up the gas, you want to open up the steering at the same time. So you tend to see this when drivers eventually commit to full throttle. They really open up the steering because typically they're timing that to put themselves on the edge of traction. He runs a bit wide there, gets a little bit loose. Yep, that's about as wide as you would ever want to be because it sort of falls off here. You've got the banking in the direction that you want just to the inside, but on the outside the car can sort of fall off a little bit. So you do need to be careful with that. And then up the hill, easily flat out in pretty much every car, including this one. It is quite long. You need to think about your line a little bit. Just keep the steering inputs very smooth. Let the car run wide here and then bring it back down across the pit lane entry. Gradually back out again.